Hi guys, welcome back to an episode of DB Cars, and today's episode I'll be showing you guys TribeCar Nissan Note. So let's dive straight to this video right now. Alright then, so here is guys the Nissan Note from TribeCar itself. So basically I'll be walking around with you guys the damages for this vehicle if there's any, before I show you guys the trunk space as well as the interior. So let me just start off with the damages for this vehicle first. So upon first inspection, there isn't any obvious damage that I noticed from the vehicle, other than maybe the usual curve rash, which is on nearly all four sides of the rim itself, as you guys can see itself. So yeah, and also to add on to the point of this vehicle itself, so basically this is the 2017 facelifted version of the Nissan Note itself. So basically right here you're looking at is the second generation Nissan Note that Nissan produced from 2013 to 2019 or 2020 if I'm not wrong. But this is the second facelift that this car has went through during its lifespan when it was still in production itself. So basically some of the areas that you notice that are different from, let's say, the 2013 or the early model, and maybe the midlife facelift as well as the last facelift before they discontinued it, is one thing that obvious is the front of the car itself. So basically you get a more sportier or more meaner front end of the car itself, with the revised headlight as well as the grille itself. So basically I'll put on photos right now if I'm able to find the photos for the second generation pre-facelift Nissan Note that it looks like when it first came out. So that's one area that it looked totally different from this generation that TribeCar has in its fleet. The second obvious thing which changed is the interior, which I can show you guys. So basically the interior is completely different from the pre-facelift one and the pre-facelift and facelift. So one obvious area is the steering wheel, which they changed from I probably put a photo of how the dashboard looked like for the pre-facelift one, and this is how it looks like for the facelifted second round of facelift that Nissan did to the Note itself. So yeah, moving on, let's move towards the back. So yeah, if anyone wondering where the petrol tank is, it is on the left hand side of the vehicle itself. So yeah, but usually now let's move back to the rear. So usually if let's say there's a facelift for the front of the vehicle, they will also do it for the back. So the back, if I'm not wrong, you also get new tail light as well as new front headlight itself. So yeah, basically that is what I noticed so far for this facelifted 2017 facelifted Nissan Note itself. But and that, let me just go ahead and show you guys the trunk space right now, which is you're able to do so via the key fob, which is the same as the Nissan Sylphy, which I reviewed way back. But okay, my apologies, I made an error. So basically usually for the Sylphy, there will be an option right down below here which you're able to just press on it and you're able to access the trunk. Seems like this doesn't really have the option. The only option is lock and unlock, as well as keyless entry for the vehicle itself. Basically that's basically it for this car itself. To access the trunk area, just need to locate the button right down below the Nissan emblem, which is right down below here. Pull on that and you should have access to the trunk. So basically this is how the trunk space of the Nissan Note look like. Not really the biggest. I think if you have to put one medium-sized suitcase inside, if let's say you're carrying passenger, maybe it's one medium or large-sized suitcase put in here, and that's probably it. You can't really put anything else in this vehicle unless you were to stack it on top, which might hinder the rear visibility of the car itself. So yeah, but if you want even more trunk space, you could actually pull this right down, tap right here and drop the seat down, and the same goes for the other side, which you could also see the effect of it. And I think this vehicle does have an option of a middle seat belt, which usually would slide in between here, but as you guys can see with the seat folded down itself, there's one drawback to this vehicle, which it doesn't really have a flush rear, it doesn't really have a flush trunk space. So basically what I meant is, basically as you guys can see, there's this area here where the seat, when it's folded up, it looks like that. When it's down, there's this thing right here which might hinder the flushness of the trunk space itself. But overall I think it's still not too bad. At least you're able to, if you want to have a flush trunk space, at most is you just put something maybe around this height at the bottom, then you can put another item over it, then you have a flush trunk space itself. But other than that, I will probably put on screen right now how much trunk space does this vehicle has with the seat up. But other than that, that's probably it for this vehicle. You don't really get much in the rear itself, other than maybe some light here when the trunk is open. But other than that, there isn't really much to say itself. Yeah. So yeah, other than that, let me just flip the seat up, and I'll show you guys the rear seat right now. And to close the trunk space, just need to grab hold on this hole right here and just shut it itself. So yeah, let me just put the seat up right now, and I can show you guys the trunk space. So basically just grab hold on this. Alright, so seats back up. I can show you guys the rear of the car right now. So stepping right into the, oh my god, stepping right into the rear of the car, this is how it looks like. So weirdly, I think maybe because of this current driving position, that this front passenger seat that was pushed forward, so it makes the rear look quite spacious itself. But I think if this seat was pushed back for more comfort wise, I think there wouldn't be much space at all itself. Plus, this is my driving position for this car wise, and you guys can see I still got tons of leg room. Usually for some cars I'm not able to have a good amount of leg space itself. Usually it's just like nearly touching my knee, but for this car wise, I don't know, it's something, maybe the driving position I set it for this car wise, it make it look more spacious itself. So I think I got close to 2.5 or 2.25 of leg room space for this vehicle itself. Headroom space wise, about, I would say about one quarter of headroom space wise for this vehicle, which is not too bad, I would say. But another thing I want to comment on is basically usually for some cars usually have the high transmission hump, which hinders the usability of the middle row seat. But for this car wise, it has a low transmission tunnel, so you're able to just simply slide on. If let's say if I want to sit in the center, I could do so without any issue at all itself. So yeah, not too bad, I would say. Plus, if let's say there were to be 3 people in the back, I think there might be a slight chance that you might be touching shoulder to shoulder for this vehicle itself, because technically it's a hatchback, so space wise usually won't be the best itself unless it is a regular size sedan itself. So yeah, but overall not too bad for this car wise. It's not too bad sitting in the center of the car wise itself. So yeah. Alright, let me see what else do I have to show you guys. Okay, some of the features in the back that you get is basically you get some cubby space right here, some more smaller cubby space right here. You got a window switcher to wind down the windows if you want to. You got your door release handle to get out of the car, as well as some grab handle itself. So yeah, and also you got a lighting in the center which turns on when doors are open. If not, you could manually turn off them or turn on them, or leave it in the center when the doors are open itself. So yeah. And that in the rear, the only thing the rear passenger have access to is this cubby space right here itself. Weirdly, I don't know what was previously left. Really, I don't know what was last placed inside here, but it definitely some water in it. So yeah, but if there isn't any water at all, I think you could put your drinks right here if you want to. But I think there might be a slight chance that it might spill itself. So best is to put it right here itself. That is meant for itself. So yeah. Also, yeah, lastly, you just got some storage right here in the back. You should put your stuff if you want to, but other than that, that's basically it for the rear of the Nissan Note itself. So yeah, let me just jump straight out of the vehicle right now, and I can show you guys the front of the car. So if anyone wondering, this is how the dashboard look like for this Nissan Note itself. So yeah, let me just jump to the front of the car. Right. Alright then, now let me just show you guys the front of the car itself. So jumping straight into the front of the Nissan Note, this is what you are greeted with. So basically, going back onto, oh yeah, before I talk about the facelifted part, let me just talk about the storage space first. Well, picking on storage space, you got basically one storage space right here, which put, as you guys can see, there's a water bottle right there. So this shows how big this storage space is able to accommodate. You also got another one right on top here, which you put even more stuff in it itself. So yeah, and that just close both of them up, and that's one area which I think the biggest among all in the car itself. Moving on, you got two cup holders right here if you want to put your stuff. There's also another cubby space right down below here, another smaller one right here, and yeah, some more space right at the bottom, right down beneath the steering column itself. So yeah, and also moving on, also another space right here, and more space right here if you want to don't let your rear passenger use the rear space itself. Lastly, just got your typical handbrake, which you could you know how it works. You got your eco button right here, so basically if you want more economical driving style, you can press that, and basically later I'll show you guys when the vehicle is on. There's you can see whether the eco mode is on or off on the gauge itself. You also got, moving on, you got your drive selector right here with all the relevant gear, as well as a low gear itself. So yeah, moving on, you just got your AC controls right here itself, which is quite simple to use and also quite unique itself, which somewhat resemble a donut itself. So yeah, basically your climate control is on the left, on the right, your fan speed control is on the left itself. So basically you're just able to adjust via the buttons on either side itself. And yeah, so basically it's quite self-explanatory, and everything will be shown on the screen right here itself. Moving on top, you got the infotainment screen. I think this should be the one that came directly from the manufacturer. So basically I think seems like there's a Bluetooth option which you can press on this for the Bluetooth functionality. If you want to connect it to your, if let's say you want to connect the infotainment to your phone itself. So yeah, if not, then there's some various shortcut keys on either side itself. Your volume switch right here, and your FM and AM tune right here itself. Lastly, you just got your hazard light button, which is right at the top, which is quite easy to reach from the driver's side, let's say in the event of an emergency. And you got two AC vents right here itself. Four AC vents right across the dashboard itself. But unfortunately, this is the bottom part of the AC thing, if you notice, is already broken itself. So technically it's very hard to direct. If you want airflow to be blowing at you, it's very hard to do so itself. So yeah, same goes for the driver's side itself, if you guys notice. So yeah, technically there's a way to fix this, but I don't even bother to do so itself. So yeah, alright, let's now move on to the steering wheel itself. So basically steering wheel, this is the facelifted steering wheel itself. You guys can see the pre-facelift one has a different style of steering wheel compared to the facelift, as well as the gauge. The gauge, I think if I'm not wrong, also changes for the pre-facelift and the facelift. So basically now you got one screen right in the center right here, which I will show you later on when the car is turned on, as well as another one right here itself. So yeah, and you're able to adjust accordingly via these two buttons right here, as well as these two buttons right here itself. So yeah, moving on, let's talk about the stops. So basically the stops on the left hand side is your wiper stop. So basically to activate it, just go all the way down, all the way up, stop it. One swipe for just up, one time for just one swipe the wipers. To wash it, just need pull back, and you wash the windscreen for you for the front, and you're able to adjust the frequency right here itself as well. And this right here is your knob to adjust the rear wiper itself. Alright, moving on to the other side, you got your light switch control, as well as your indicators. So indicator just up or down. High beam just need push forward. Flash, your high beam just need pull back. And to adjust your light switch itself, you just basically via this knob right here itself. And you're also able to adjust your fog light via this switch as well. So yeah, and that's basically it for all the controls on the steering column. Last few buttons right here is you're able to adjust to turn off the auto stop start. If let's say the vehicle at a red light, you're able to turn that off if let's say that feature is very annoying to you. You also have your mirror adjusting, which you're able to adjust it via this switch right here, left or right. And the folding function of the mirrors is right here itself. And going back to the area of adjusting the mirrors, so one is on the right hand side, you're able to adjust with this D-pad thingy itself. So yeah, lastly, just the only switch which you don't have to press is the traction control button, which is right down below the auto stop start button itself. Lastly, on the dashboard, you got this last two buttons right at the bottom, which are the fuel door, which is right here, and the hood release for the front of the car itself. Other than that, that's basically it for all the controls on the dashboard. Now I'll be talking about the window switches. So window switches, you got the 4 window switches right here for all 4 doors, as well as the locking and unlocking mechanism itself. And this is also another function which can press to prevent people from rolling down the windows on maybe beside you or behind you itself. So yeah, and you also lastly got more storage space right here to put your stuff if you want to itself, and as well as your door handle to get out the car. And yeah, that's probably it itself. So yeah, alright, last thing, now let me just show you guys the sun visor. So this is the sun visor for the Nissan Note. So basically there's this very nice mirror which you're able to see yourself. Unfortunately, there isn't any light at all right on top of it, which usually some car come with. And the same for the passenger side as well. But you're able to, one good thing is you're able to swivel it to the right or the left side for the passenger itself, for the front passenger itself. And usually some car they have also where you can extend it out furthermore, but for this car, unfortunately, it doesn't really have that function itself. So yeah. Lastly, just got a front light which you can able to turn off or turn on manually, or in the center when the doors are open itself. So yeah, and that's basically it for this car wise. Now let me just turn on the car and show you guys the buttons itself. So basically, for the brake and press the start button, and the car will turn on itself. So just give it a few moments to let the car prime up. Okay, let me just show you guys the buttons. Alright, let me just show you guys the screen itself. So basically, this is how the screen looks like on the 2017 Nissan Note itself. To adjust this right here is just by pressing this button right here, and you're able to see its average speed. This I have not too sure what this is. The average consumption, the overall average consumption, right, based on your previous trip, and your range to empty itself. And the second button, which is just right beside the clock itself, which you're able to adjust in either 12-hour format or 24-hour format itself. Next up is this knob right here itself. So basically, this knob is just the trip A and trip B function which you're able to see itself. Not really that obvious, but if you don't see it right there, it's just trip A, trip B itself. Nothing really much itself. So yeah. On the other side, you got this knob right here, which is just basically that foot lever itself. So basically, turn that off or turn that on itself. So yeah. Okay, lastly, you got this eco button which I mentioned at the start. So basically, you have to press on this, you see the thing above go off. So basically, this is turn off the eco function of the car itself. To turn on just that, and you will show a blue light, plus also the eco button right in the center screen itself, plus as well as that foot thing, the screen right here which I showed you just now itself. So yeah, infotainment itself, I won't be going through like what I mentioned in most of my car reviews nowadays, because it's very different from all the other brands itself, so I won't really go through itself. But I'll just go through some, which you got menu right here, which you're able to go back to the home screen, and it's also touchscreen, so you're able to just press on it itself. Let's say you want to go radio, you can just press on radio. If not, you can just press shortcut keys right here itself. Bluetooth audio is basically this. Then I think you just go to your Bluetooth function on the phone, and you're able to locate this thing right here itself. So yeah. Alright, so that's basically it for the whole of the car. Now let me show you the last thing, which is how to adjust the steering wheel as well as the seat for this car itself. So to adjust the steering wheel itself, just need to pull on this lever right down below here. Just pull on that. Okay, if I'm able to locate this lever, it's sometimes very hard. So yeah, you're just able to put on this lever and you're able to adjust it itself. For the seat itself, there's this function which you're able to slide the seat forward or back. Then to adjust the height or the angle of the seat, it's just basically height right here itself. Then you got the angle of the seat right here itself. So yeah, other than that, that's basically it for the car wise itself. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy the video for my review for this car wise. If you guys want to see more videos like this, you can click the subscribe button down right below to see more videos like this, or click subscribe and click see my 2 other videos. And with that, I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace.